Hey everyone, hey everyone, hey everyone. We are live, I believe. Welcome back to 4 a.m. trading or 5 a.m. trading. This is my caller zero, and the question of this live stream is maybe a rhetorical question: is ETH reacts to BTC? So it looks to me like Ethereum is highly dependent on Bitcoin, which is obvious, but it's very interesting to observe how it shows in the chart. So, for example, this is the 5 minute of Bitcoin. We see a W, like from here to here, from here to here. It's like an obvious double bottom, a W. We have the neckline at this area, 37,211 on Bybit, and we broke it. All right. Okay. When we switch to Ethereum, we see a similar W. Look, just let me switch back and forth. Bitcoin, Ethereum. So what we can see two things. That Bitcoin is a little bit more volatile, like more ups and downs. And Ethereum, it's kind of looking at what happens with Bitcoin, and it's just a little bit conservative, not reacting too much first. But then as soon as we break out of the W on Bitcoin, right here, it also breaks up. And just a couple of moments before we had the situation, now it's changed actually. Just a couple of moments ago, we had the situation where Bitcoin broke out and was way above the neckline right here. Way above this neckline. Was somewhere, sorry, Ethereum was above. Bitcoin break out and went down below it. It was below the neckline, and Ethereum was still above the neckline. So it means to me that Ethereum is kind of reacting to what Bitcoin is doing, but with a little delay. So this means that if we see a breakout on Ethereum of a W, for example, so what is the conclusion? I think if we have a breakout of the W on Ethereum, it doesn't mean anything if Bitcoin doesn't do the same, because as soon as Bitcoin goes down again, Ethereum will go down as well. So this is my hypothesis, that Ethereum reacts to Bitcoin. I heard a couple of months ago or years ago it was the vice versa. Bitcoin reacted to what Ethereum did, but right now, so this is just what I wanted to show you. But this moment is gone already. Too bad. So okay. Let's see, maybe we can find something new. I just came back from my breakfast, and so I didn't see this happening, the W breakout also. So let's see what we possibly could do. So in the live stream 1 or 1.5 hours ago, I showed this rising wedge on the 5 minute chart, and I said if we break below it, it might be a possible short situation. But as you can see, it just faked out. It did break below it. We could short it more reliably on the 3 minute chart, I believe, because you could have a earlier entry. If you have the 5 minute rising wedge and you switch to 3 minutes, then you would see that this would be a much better entry after a 3 minute close below it. So you could risk it like this, and you would get like 0.7% for a super short scalp. Anyways, it faked out and created a W. So let's see. Probably it's too late to long it. Yeah. If if I would have to trade it, I would have to do it right here at this point. After the 3-minute close, or maybe 5-minute. Let's see if at the 5-minute. Yeah, at the 5-minute close right here, I could have traded it, but I'm literally 10 minutes too late or something. But maybe we make a retest right here. If we make a retest and then I see a bounce, a definite bounce, then maybe I will still trade it. Also, it looks to me as if we would approach this 200 EMA on the 5-minute. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, so maybe we can observe some new patterns appearing. So probably what's gonna happen is just that we will move inside this channel for a while. This is quite possible. Look, this channel, this is exactly, yeah, this is exactly the point where we got rejected. So this W, it's just too logical. It's to be expected that we go down from here after breaking this W. Actually, yeah, this would be a smart move. If you would be on time to trade this W, the target should be at least the first profit taking should be at the top of this channel. Yeah, now it's too obvious. And okay, we have the lower, the bottom of the channel, and the top. Very interesting, very interesting. So what's gonna happen next inside this channel is probably something like this, of course. Maybe something like this, and then go like this. And every time we create a W here, I think this is a good strategy. Let's say we go down like this, then we go up till here, for example. Then we go down, bounce off the bottom of the channel, and are here. Then we create a W, and as soon as we break it, like for example here, we might go and try to trade it to the top, and probably it would be the exact target of the, yeah, of course, it's just logical that it would be the target of this W. Yes, exactly. Of course, it's not guaranteed that we will reach the top of this channel if we do this W scalp. It's not guaranteed. It's not even guaranteed that this W will happen. We might just bounce off the neckline again. So we have this neckline. We might just bounce off of it and do something like this. But in case we go to the bottom and create a new W, I think this is what I would do. Again, if I see it, because I have other things that I'm doing, I cannot babysit every single chart movement. So let's expand this neckline and see where it takes us. But this is Ethereum. Let's go back to Bitcoin and compare a little bit. Actually, before we go to Ethereum, I want to look at the RSI and yeah, because at this moment I kind of tend to completely ignore all these indicators, RSI and all the market liberator, market cipher, everything, because to me it almost looks like the only important things are these trend lines. So if they break, we go up. If they don't, then no. So I almost completely think that we can completely ignore them. But nevertheless, let's see. So we have higher highs here. It's about the same level, but higher high here. Right, let's try some like this. So we have this neckline, this resistance on the RSI. Make it blue, like this. And the reason why I'm drawing these lines on the RSI is because I think if we take RSI into our analysis, then it also makes sense to see where the support and resistance lines of the RSI are. So we can almost expect RSI to reach certain levels. Like right now, for example, we bounce off of this resistance. We almost can expect to go down to the EMA. This is the EMA on the RSI, at least. Bounce from here, or maybe if we break through it, then bounce from here. This is kind of to expect. So yeah, it's a slightly bearish divergence right here, because we have kind of the same height almost on the RSI of the highs, but higher highs on the price. So the downwards movement is kind of logical. But does this RSI give us actually additional information in this situation? Not sure, actually. Not sure. I'm still looking at it. Maybe I will just disregard it completely someday. But as of now, it looks like we want to retest this neckline and then bounce back up. Okay, then Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin. It's doing something very similar, of course. On Bitcoin we have the same rising wedge, which we have broken on the 5-minute to the downside, and it's the same situation. If we wanted to trade it, we probably would have to switch to 3 or 2-minute time frame to get a better entry. Oh, actually it was difficult to get a better entry. Maybe on 1 minute. No. Because the earliest entry would be somewhere around here, but it would be a fake out. Probably not even worth it to try to trade it right here. So yeah, it was a fake out without a good entry possibility. So in this case, Ethereum would be a better choice to short, because on both, look, on Ethereum and Bitcoin we have basically the same structure. So here's Ethereum, we have a rising wedge, this we broke out of it, and on Bitcoin we have the same rising wedge, we broke out of it. But if we are looking for entries on the 3-minute chart, for example, then on Bitcoin the close would be very low, and on Ethereum it would be, the close would be somewhat higher. So we probably would be better off to short it from here. I hope you understand what I mean. Alright, so and I'm still curious how Ethereum is reacting to Bitcoin. So we have on Bitcoin the W here. We broke it here. We broke it at let me go to 5 minutes. So this was the neckline, and we broke it at 10:10, And Ethereum, what did Ethereum at the same time? Yeah, did the same. It's also, it's almost a mirror what Ethereum doing and Bitcoin. Okay, right now Bitcoin is getting rejected by the 200 EMA on the 5 minute, and Ethereum didn't even reach 200 EMA. Right. Okay, on the Ethereum chart we just created a nice channel. So, nice channel. We have this neckline which will most probably be a support. Probably what's gonna happen is we will like bounce on this support neckline all the way sideways until we reach the bottom channel, and then we will go up again, something like this. Actually, I'm gonna keep this drawing here to see if it progresses in this manner. Okay, let's see. On Bitcoin we can also draw a channel right now. Let me change the color. So this is very interesting. The upper trend line, the support, the resistance line of this channel, the upper line, is a little bit different on Bitcoin and Ethereum. They are almost mirror images of each other, but the difference is Ethereum went all the way up. It's like it overshot its commander, who is Bitcoin. So while Bitcoin didn't reach the top of its channel, Ethereum did, and probably it's because of the 200 EMA, which was the rejection point for Bitcoin. But Ethereum still reached the top. It's very interesting. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's see what's happening on the 15-minute time frame on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So recently, in the last live stream, I was talking about this red trend line that we newly created. You can also see it on 1 hour. Let's see, on the 1 hour chart, and I believe on 2 hour or something, or 4 hour, we have no, we don't have. Okay, on 1 hour you can see this trend line being created, and what I'm waiting on the 1 hour chart is something like this to appear. So I can short it if it breaks here. I can short it at least to the top of this previous rising wedge, which we broke out of yesterday. So this is what I'm looking for. Or a bullish scenario, if we create a W, maybe something like this, and then we break it, for example right here, then we can trade it like this as well. A little scalp. So far, that's it. Okay, is there something interesting on the altcoins happening? No, nothing new. Let's take a quick look at BNB. So yeah, BNB 4 hour. Actually on BNB we dipped below this 4-hour trend line, which is very bearish. This is another great example. This is a super nice example that you cannot really trade altcoins without having a definitive direction of Bitcoin, because they are just following what Bitcoin does. So the most reliable way to trade altcoins using these trend lines or even indicators, whatever, is if we have Bitcoin going like a little bit sideways or maybe upwards like this. Because if we have, for example, kind of first we have a big pump on Bitcoin, so everything pumps, and then we have a little bit of a sideways action, so altcoins don't have to overreact, then we can rely better on those trend lines on altcoins. But as long as we have these big moves ups and down on Bitcoin, they are just overreacting to. They are reacting to what Bitcoin is doing, and the trend lines are much less reliable. For example, we had this super strong support line on BNB on 4-hour chart. You see, you connect these two, you have this big ass king trend line, support line, and after we break it and close below it, usually if we would do this on Bitcoin, we would see some more movement, at least something like this. Even if it's a fake out, it gives us a little bit more before it retraces. Usually after breaking these big trend lines, we see even much more on Bitcoin. But if the same happens on altcoins, for example on this Binance coin, on the BNB, you see it broke down, alright, went down, and instead of following this trend, it went back up. Why? Because Bitcoin dragged it up again. Because Bitcoin at this point went up again, so the altcoin did as well. Actually, let's see what happened to Bitcoin at exact this point of time. It was 20th of July. So yeah, you see, at this point, I think one of the reasons why Bitcoin did not go much lower is because it did not break any super strong trend lines. So if I try to draw some trend lines on the 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, and I connect the closes on 4-hour, for example, we might end up with this trend line right here. and this trend line was not broken, so we didn't go all the way down. I could even try to incorporate this these closes for our closes. If we do this like this, we also end up with a point which was not broken, you see. So for Bitcoin, everything like there was no real reason as why it should go even lower, because in order for Bitcoin to go lower, I think it has to break some huge trend lines, and it didn't. Okay, let's see, maybe there was another trend line. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a trend line which I oversee. Okay, we might use this. Okay, this trend line was broken, yes, but then we went down, and it's okay. Okay, what about this trend line? Yeah, it's almost no trend line from here because the touch points are too far apart. We could also go with this one, like a falling something, falling structure. Okay, this was one of the strongest actually. Okay, this was very strong, I admit. This was a very strong trend support line on the 4-hour chart, and we broke below it. But let me switch to regular chart, logarithmic. No, it's the same, any scale. Okay, so this was a strong trend line. But we just went down a little bit. Oh, now I see something. So actually, it's quite valid because oh no, okay. Yes, okay, I'm back. I collected my thoughts. So this was of course, it was a huge structure, this falling wedge and this support line of this channel, and breaking below it usually means that we go way lower. But on the other hand, we have another super strong support trend line here. So it kind of makes sense that we didn't go lower, because it doesn't have to go lower. What it has to do is to jump to the next orbit, which is this, like an electron. And it was how much? Yeah, it was about 5% drop, quite significant. Then it went back up again. And it was a confluence of support, because we had some wicks here. We have some strong wicks here. You see this one. So it kind of made sense that we jumped back up, we bounced from this level. Yeah, because we had this strong support line here, and also maybe I should actually draw it like this. Maybe then it's even more precise. Yeah, exactly, because I more precisely connect these two bottoms, this close and this close. If I connect them, then we have the exact, yeah, you see, first we have this long this big gray support line we have with this wick, and then we have the strong support of this 4-hour closes. So it made totally sense that we could not bust through it after falling out of this channel, or not even a channel, maybe a descending channel. and BNB at the same time. What did do BNB at the same time? BNB bounced from here. So even though it broke out of this strong support line, it did not go lower because, yeah, of course, we also have big support here. This is the previous week, previous low. We have super strong support here. I can even imagine that if we look to the left side, we will also find some type of support here. Yeah, it's kind of important. Wick here, here, here. It's kind of a strong level, so it didn't go lower. Of course, the main reason for this is that Bitcoin bounced as well. All right. So while we are on the BNB chart, let me just add another trend line. This seems to be kind of obvious. So if this breaks, then we probably can expect, so if this big trend line, 4 hour, it looks very strong. It's going back 7 days, so it's a queen trend line, queen trend support line. We should give it an appropriate color, this one, and call it a queen. This is what I like to do. And left at the bottom. Yeah, this is the queen trend line, support line. And if this breaks, we can expect some more downwards movement. But again, it's highly dependent on Bitcoin. So if you want to trade it, then it would be very wise to go to lower time frames, like 1 hour, and to see for the best entries quite close to this support line. So for example, if it breaks like this and closes here, it would probably a good entry for a short. But I would take the profits as soon as possible, maybe even here, because if Bitcoin goes up, then this will fake out again. So you cannot expect it to go lower. It's too much lower if Bitcoin doesn't do it. Yeah, it kind of sucks that we are so much dependent on Bitcoin. But what can you do? We need Bitcoin to pick a side, to become definitely bullish and then go sideways for a while, for example, before we can have more stability in altcoin patterns. As of now, the patterns are less reliable than Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. Actually, it's very interesting. Let's see. So the Bitcoin dominance chart is very useful. Let's go to 4 hour. Because it can give us insight into, so it can tell us if we are in the altcoin season or not. So if the dominance goes down, like here for example, it went down, it was altcoin season. But then at this point, one of the Twitter gurus, I think it was Anup or someone else, who said or was it Crypto Calio? I don't remember who it was, but he said as soon as we had a dip and then a strong movement upwards like this, it was a insanely big sign for us to go out and to sell the altcoins, because the dominance was rising again, meaning the money was taken out from the altcoins and put back into Bitcoin again. So it was the time to, like mid-May, it was a good time to sell most of the altcoins, which I didn't see. I didn't know about this dominance back then, and I didn't monitor it, which was unfortunate. So I didn't sell my altcoins, just a little bit. So yeah, but right now what we're looking for on the Bitcoin dominance chart is we just see if it goes up or down. If it goes up, first of course it has to go up. If Bitcoin goes up, if Bitcoin rises and creates a new highs, then the Bitcoin dominance go up. But then if Bitcoin goes kind of sideways, then we see altcoins rise, because people start to put less money in Bitcoin and more money in the altcoins, and sometimes even taking money out of Bitcoin and put it into altcoins. And at this time we see Bitcoin drop in the dominance again. And by the way, this is the logarithmic chart. Logarithmic, regular chart, no big difference. So okay, so this is the theory behind it. Let's see what we can see here. The dominance. So I've drawn this line. This is a support line for the Bitcoin dominance. If we break this, it's gonna be great for altcoins, obviously. But before it happens, we also want Bitcoin to go much higher. It would be awesome if Bitcoin goes like 46,000 or something. But after it happens, after Bitcoin goes up, and if we see dominance drop real hard, for example, if we break out of this kind of rising wedge, or what is it? Yeah, we could say it's a type of rising wedge. So if we break down out of it, for example here or somewhere here, yeah, it would be nice if Bitcoin goes up and up and up and up and up, like here in dominance, and then of course it will not do it in the straight line, most probably doing something like this, and then after it breaks, this will be awesome. But because it would mean that probably, hopefully, that Bitcoin is high in price, about like 45, 46,000 or $45,000, or even a new all-time high, and then it breaks this dominance support line. It would mean that we might shoot for the bottom of this wedge first, and if we even break this level on the dominance chart, and then we go even lower, like to 30% dominance or 15 or 20% dominance, mamma mia, it would mean that it would mean that altcoins would be just shooting up, because if the Bitcoin dominance drops, that means that everybody's taking their money and put it in altcoins, and they would just skyrocket the altcoins until they don't, until the Bitcoin dominance starts to shoot up again, and this will probably be the best point to sell all the altcoins. But right now we might go down a bit. I see an indecisive candle, almost a bullish, bearish, what is it, shooting star, this little candle. So we might go down a little bit. But also another thing that I see in the charts right now, in the dominance chart, is this nice W appearing. So if we break the neckline of this W, you see this is a W. Obviously, if we break this, then altcoins might suffer for a while or just stagnate. So my hope is just that we don't do nothing crazy on the Bitcoin dominance chart. My hope is that we just do this kind of action, and all the while Bitcoin is going up, when we do something like this, maybe jump like this, slowly Bitcoin rises in price is what I hope, and then maybe towards the end of September or maybe or mid-October, that this shit breaks like this and woo, we go all the way down, and all the altcoins shoot up. This is my wish. Bitcoin God, crypto God, if you do exist, I mean the real one, not the fake ones on the YouTube, the real crypto God, if you do exist, this is my wish for Christmas, baby. Actually, it might happen towards the Christmas. Totally possible. Alright, so this is the Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a last short look at the Bitcoin chart, because we closed an hourly candle and Ethereum as well, and then we'll see maybe there's something new appearing that what we could do on the 1 hour chart. Or let's better say 15 minutes. So yeah, on the 15 minutes, just as expected, we went, 5 minutes, okay, let's say 5 minutes. Just as expected, we bounced off this neckline, but we're testing it again. We're bouncing back and forth between this neckline and the 200 EMA on the 5 minute chart. But still, I don't see any patterns that scream at me, telling, trade me, David, trade me, trade me. So what's gonna happen? This might be a tiny 1 minute W, I guess. Okay, 5 minutes again. So we're just inside this channel. We need to see something to happen before we can trade. Right now, no big structures to trade. It could be a double top, could be like double bottom, and for this double bottom I am too late for the party, so let's just wait and see. Okay, what's up with the Ethereum? Oh, interesting. Ethereum retested and goes all the way up. So probably it's really goes for the upper trend line of this channel, the resistance line. This is what it's doing on the 5 minute. And we will probably reach the top as I predicted, but it will probably happen sooner. Looks like it, if we successfully go above this candle close. which will happen in 5 seconds. One. Okay, let's see. Do we print and go up, or we don't? Yeah, probably go down a bit. Alright, so nothing is still screaming at me. Or does it? Wait, first, probably I can spot a little M. So this. And by the way, let me change the color of this to green, so I know this is bullish. This is the bullish expectation, and this is the bearish expectation. So if we create an M, let me switch to 3 minutes. If we break this neckline again, yeah, but this will be a super small movement. Most probably we will go down all the way down to this the bottom of this channel and just go back up. Let's see if it's even worth it. It's probably 0.3% or something. Yeah, exactly, 0.34%. It's very little to trade. Alternatively, we could also say, okay, fuck all these double tops and M's. We use only trend lines, which is actually my preferred strategy. So this kind of trend lines, we see some. Let's go to 1 minute. I think on 1 minute it's, or okay, 2 minutes. And it's easier to recognize. So we have this and this and this. It's a ugly small dragon or head and shoulders pattern that if it breaks, oh, it's breaking right now. So if it breaks, it will probably might go lower, maybe, but I don't think that it will go lower than the neckline. So should I trade it right now? Okay, let's wait for the close and then we decide. Okay, this. Also, it's a shooting star or bearish hammer, and now we open above it. Okay, now not really reliable. Okay, maybe 3 minutes. So on the 2 minutes, it almost looked like we broke below it, but you see on the 3 minute, it looks like a completely different story. We go just above it, not below it. So no break of this trend line yet. So no trading signals yet. Do you have some questions or suggestions? Let me see. No. All right. Another thing that is on my mind is how we can possibly treat reversals. So sometimes we don't have a break of a trend line, but we just reach a top or bottom of a channel or over a trend line, and then we go back up. How do we trade it? This is what I'm asking myself. Maybe I should look for confluence with some resistance line and support and resistance line. For example, at this exact level. Probably it was a support line or resistance back somewhere. Oh, not really. So how to create reverse pattern? Price reverse, not sure yet. Okay. I really want to trade a little bit. I want to see some lines get broken so I can trade them. Okay, this looks a little bit promising. Maybe we close the 3 minute below this little trend line. And then if we do, maybe we can trade it all the way down to the bottom of this channel. Let's see, we have 1 minute to go. But no, we bounce, no, we bounce, no, we bounce. Actually, let me look at my Fibonacci. Settings, because I believe I have them wrong, because I'm on logarithmic scale, but I didn't even check if the Fibonacci is on logarithmic. Yeah, it is. So based on a log scale, everything is correct. Fibonacci is also on the logarithmic scale. All good. Okay, back to 5 minutes. So I don't see trading opportunities on higher time frames like 4 hour. I don't see any super clean trend lines that break or do something, so I don't trade them. This is Ethereum. This is Ethereum. Wait a second. I need to compare two things. If you look at, let me remove everything and just show you one little thing. Okay, let me remove everything. So if you take a look at this 4 hour beautiful trend line, which we might draw from here, it broke. So it's Ethereum. It broke to the downside, but it didn't continue. Very often what we see is after we break them, we definitely continue. Sometimes we first do a retest like this, and then we go down. So retest like this and then like this. But we still didn't see it happen. What about Bitcoin? So I'm curious if we're still gonna go down, because we really broke this big trend line. It's kind of important trend line. Look, this is going back, I think like 3 or 4 days or 6 days. It's 7 days. It's a beautiful little princess trend line. 7 days. Let me change the thickness, because a princess is thinner than the queen. The queen is a little bit more thick. So this is the princess trend line broken, and now we're retesting it. Yeah, I think this is what might really happen in 1.5 hours. We will see where this where this candle closes and the next one. So the next 2 to 3 candles will be very important. And if we see some candle engulfs, for example, if we see right here, for example, a bearish candle, bearish in, oh my god, bearish candle like this. It looks ugly, but if it's a bearish candle and it's engulfing these candles and it closes here, we might actually open a short, because it would be a quite good confirmation that this breakout to the downside was valid, the break of this trend line was valid, and then we might see some more downwards movement. Would be quite valid actually for Ethereum. But then again, of course, let me get everything back. Then again, we have to watch Bitcoin first before we do something on Ethereum. And right now I want to see if Bitcoin broke a similar Queen trend line or not. So let's go to Bitcoin on a 4-hour time frame, and also remove everything, drawings. All right, let's draw a beautiful princess trend line. It's only 7 days old, and no, it didn't break anything, so Bitcoin is solid. But on Ethereum, as you remember, we went down and we dipped below this trend line, and it seems to not work out because Bitcoin just decided to go back up and not break this trend line. So Ethereum just the queen okay, Ethereum is just following Bitcoin. Sometimes it overreacts. Okay, all right, let's get our drawings back. And like I said before, we went down and bounced almost exactly at the top of our channel. Right, do I have something else which is interesting? Let's see. If not, then we just close the stream and do something else. So maybe 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes. Oh, interesting. We went below this neckline. As I just said, even if we dip below it, most likely we will bounce back up from this bottom of this channel, meaning that we have just 0.3% or something of our trade. So if we close here and we open a short, it would be like, yeah, 0.2% even. So not much. Yeah, of course we might break below this channel, which to me is very unlikely. But even if we do it, we have this other strong resistance line. So no hope here for strong downward movement. Yeah. Well, let's just observe. We're breaking down. Okay, interesting. Let's go to 15 minutes and look at this trend line right here. This red one is what I'm looking at right now. If we break below this trend line, we might see some more movement. we might go inside this rising wedge. And I think it would also be a kind of W. So if we draw the W like this, and this would be the neckline. Let me change it to red. So if we continue to go down like this, let me even change to 5 minutes, I think it's easier to spot. So this might be a double top structure. We go down, and if we break this, we might expect, probably we might expect this target, which would be about 1%, 1.4%. But most likely we would have to close the short area right here, because we have the top of this rising wedge. That is, of course, if we do break these levels. So we have 3 important levels to break for this to happen. First, we would need to break this little orange channel, this channel, and this. Okay, and then also break this support line, and then break this neckline. So we just have to wait. And it might happen in the next maybe 15 to 60 minutes. We should see something happening. If we don't go up, if we don't bounce from this orange bottom and go up, then we might see this double top play out. But we'll see. Okay, that's it for this little live stream. Thanks for watching. See you very soon.